had a FELIB cat, which is FELV plus, feline leukemia virus. And they can't have feline leukemia viruses, shelters cannot have feline leukemia virus cats with other cats. So they were sending out this email every once in a while. Can anyone take this cat? Because it's in a foster home, but we don't want the other cats to get it. So it was staying in the bathroom sink was its home because they wanted to keep him away from other cats. So I thought, well, I think I'll do that. And so I said, hey, I can take the foster. This was Feline Rescue Inc. of St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
And so I took him, and he was awesome. His name at the shelter was Billy, and I renamed him Sir William.
Sir William. Nice.
He was a wonderful cat. And then got used to him, and then they came up with another cat that had feline leukemia. And I said, sure, I can take that cat too.
Okay.
And so I got Pup. So we had Sir William and Lady Pup.
Okay. Now, is there a treatment for that?
I'm sorry?
Is there a treatment for that?
I'm sorry?
Is there any medical treatment for that?
Okay, medical treatment is you want to make sure that you take them to the vet, have them regularly checked up, like every year. And other than that, no, there isn't. It's not like if diabetes where you have to give the cats insulin. They're pretty normal cats, except that they have feline leukemia virus, and you don't want to have a cat outside, and you just want to keep the place clean and keep it extra nice. Otherwise, it's just like having a cat, a cat that doesn't have a disease.
Wow, that's crazy. So, did you notice any? I mean, what were the surprises about that in this process with their first one?
Well, it's the first one that I came across actually, and so they sent the email so many times, and I just love cats, and I thought, hey, okay, I can take care of the cat, and then you need to let the shelter know that, keep them updated on the cat's condition. And when I got the second cat, and had a lady pup, they had named her Pup, so I named her Lady Pup to match Sir William. He just did not look like a Billy to me. He did not act like a Billy. He was too really nice and a gentleman. And so then when I got Lady Pup, she was limping. And when they would play, she would, and I would be thinking, what's going on? So then I called the shelter, and they had a vet look at her, and we had to end up taking off one of her legs. She could run faster with the leg off than with his limb.
Well, that's special. So, talk about the personalities after you adopted them and how they got along. When you got the two of them together and that kind of stuff.
Well, like I said, Sir William was a gentleman, and Lady Pup was playful. However, I think they had been playing like Pawsey underneath the bathroom door because they knew each other. When I brought Lady Pup home, she didn't know where she was, and so Sir William looks in the box to kind of see, okay, who is this? Lady Pup. But then when they got out, and when she got out and she was able to see who it was, then they they realized who each other were, and they got along very well. And in fact, it was really funny because, of course, with Lady Pup having to have a leg amputated, she had to stay in a cage for a while to make sure she didn't jump up and tear stitches and all of that. And when she got out, then and Sir William just wanted to see what it was like in the cage, so he goes in. Lady Pup goes by like, well, okay, so now you get to see what it was like when I was in there. Just a little prance.
Kitty Jill. Kitty Jill. That's funny. So how do they impact your life? Like how has it changed your life to have these two fosters?
I'm sorry,
How did they change your life to have
how
these
did they
two
change my
fosters?
life?
Hmm.
Well, I tend to be a person who stays at home.
Hmm.
And when I got the cats, I would take them out walking. I would have to take one cat at a time because if I took two cats, they'd want to go the opposite ways, which you can't walk like that. And so it got me out talking with the neighbors and just being able to realize that, I can take care of an animal, and even if it has a disease, but like I say, they're just like regular cats. They usually do not last as long as other cats. Lady Pup, she had disease when she was a kitten, so she lasted like about 2.5 to 3 years. Now, Sir William, he had it when the rescue shelter picked him up, and he didn't really show, any symptoms and was really well. Although maybe one time when he loves salmon, so I gave him some salmon to cat food, and I came home, and he's looking at me like, "Oh no, I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't." And looking, he apparently it didn't agree with him.
Mm.
He had thrown up a little bit, and then they said, "Oh, that's okay,
Mm.
so, and then, yeah, and Sir William, then he I think he lasted for like 6 years.
Yeah, that's great. So are those the only two that you fostered so far?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. That's great. What would you say that fostering has taught you just as a person? What has that taught you?
What did it cost? Um,
Taught,
actually, oh, I'm sorry.
taught. Like, what did they teach you?
Oh, the cats teach me.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hearing's a little bit off there. um, well, they taught me to be gentle with other people and with cats. They taught me to, uh, and uh, Debbie has a question. Someone has a question here that asking if I had to keep him inside all the time. And for keeping him inside and not letting him be an outside cat, yes. But I could take him out walking as long as I made sure that he didn't get into dirty things or get into running away or whatever. So, but for inside, yes, for being an inside cat, they had to be inside cats.
Okay. Okay. Good for that. Um, would you do it all over again?
Oh, yes. The shelter takes care of the costs. And so So I would not need to do that. I would need to have an ability to keep a cat um, in my residence, but I can't right now. So, but if I had the chance and had the ability to keep a cat in my residence, oh yeah, I would do it again. I love cats, and there are other types of diseases that, well, the cats can not have symptoms, but they'll have a disease, kind of like diabetics in humans. There's cat diabetes, and it affects cats pretty much the same as it affects humans. Then there's the feline immune FIV, like human immune virus. I'm sorry, I don't have that, but the cats will be just like with humans. You can't tell that the person has the disease until the symptoms become too much, and if you keep the symptoms treated and kept down, then it's just like having a regular cat, and you just have to remember, don't let it be an outside cat.
Right.
Just take care of it.
I had a question in the chat that said, what other types of diseases are catastrophic and that they're looking for foster parents?
That would be the FIV cats. They're now for the feline leukemia. They are 2 to 3% about of the cat population, but only 10 to 15%, or well, not very many anyway, get adopted. Now I'm not sure if they're saying that the cats are at the shelter and available for adoption, or if the cats are in a foster home and available for adoption, because there's certain that they do with that, with the fosters, etc. But people are afraid of, well, maybe I'll have to take care of them and pay for vet bills, etc. Usually the shelter helps with that. So that was really nice.
That's great. So, tell us about just like, I know you have the cats, you have them for several years, it sounds like. And so you get attached to them, you get into a routine with them, and then finally they're at the end stage. Is that really hard, or were you just going into that expecting it?
Mm-hmm. Correct. Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just was wondering. So, knowing that you're having a cat with a condition that needs extra care and may live a shorter life, are you prepared for that going into it? That kind of thing. Are you like emotionally prepared for that separation?
It was a new thing for me. I kind of knew what PLIV was, what feline leukemia was, but it was new for me to have a cat, to own a cat, or to provide a place, a home for a cat, live with it. But it's not really difficult. Like I say, as long as you take care of the cat, make sure that they don't eat weird things, don't go running outside everywhere. It was really funny because both cats like to walk with a leash. So, and so that's one thing that people would keep. You're
Sure.
walking your cat? What's the deal here? Did you drug the cat that he's walking on the leash? And no, he just likes it. He would fight the leash and the collar when I would put it on. But then I would say, hey, if you want to go outside, you have to have the leash on. I have to walk you outside. So then he would, okay, and walk out the door.
Yeah, my dogs were the same way. They every time I go to put them on the leash, they're like, I don't want the leash. I don't need a leash. I just want to walk.
But yet they'll probably still go and chew on the leash when you get home and ready to have time to walk them, right? Yeah, I'm happy. Walk, walk, walk.
Nope. Yep, very good. Any other questions from the chat? We've got a few minutes left here. You want to tell us a little bit about the shelter that you're going through?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the shelter that you're using?
Oh, the
animal shelter?
the animal shelter was Feline Rescue Inc.
Okay.
And it was in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay. And how long have they been around?
They have been around since, I believe it was since the 1980s.
Okay.
Because that's in 1980s is when they started saying, no, we don't want cats all around and don't want the cats running around and getting into the trash, etc., whatever they were doing.
Right.
So then they started a shelter to have a place for the cats to be safely kept and for people to adopt them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess what would you tell other people that are considering fostering for themselves? What would you recommend for them?
Recommend for them starting to, well, like I say, it's pretty much just like having a cat. So when the shelter tells you, be careful with cats, I would be careful. And then just make sure that you keep the shelter apprised, especially if you're fostering them. If you adopt them, then you would be responsible for the vet bills and all that. But if you're fostering them, then the shelter is responsible, and you can keep the shelter apprised of how the cats are doing or cat, and it's pretty much just like having a regular cat. So you don't fear it, and don't think that you can't do it, because if you're afraid of doing a regular cat, well, then I might say, okay, you might not want to do Philip, but if you are confident in yourself taking care of cats, Philip is pretty much just the same. Just keep the shelter apprised of any problems that you might have, and it will give you a wonderful, wonderful companion.
That's amazing. Well, Sheila, I think I'm out of questions right now.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure to have you on, and
It's been
so
a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have people go out and check out that shelter and see if they can support them online and make a donation to help them out.
It's at felinerescue.org.
Say it one more time.
Okay, sorry. If you interrupted, I'm sorry. felinerescue.org.
Okay.
It's their website.
There you go. Perfect. All right, Sheila. Well, thanks. I'm going to close this out with our sponsor again. That's debspets.com, DEBSPETS.com, where we have all kinds of supplements for pet and human health and wellness. And it's time for me to make my order again, by the way. And so, but with that being said, thank you all. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Leave us a comment in the chat. And as we always say, we'd much rather hear from you at 3 a.m. than read about you in the paper the next day. We love you all so much. We care about you. We care about your pets. Hit us up and let us know how to contact you. If If you want to be on the show, let us know.
Okay, thank
God
you.
bless you guys.
God bless you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you joined us for At World of Pets podcast. We would like for you to take a look at what our sponsors have to offer, and that sponsor is debspets.com. You can access it through the QR code, or you can just go to the website. So thank you for joining us, and hope to see you again next week.